it is definitely curious. It is definitely curious. I think there's going to be an awful lot of inconsistency towards the start of CS2 with players, right? They'll be really, really unsure of how to approach things. I think we are just about ready for the Vertigo, though, so looking forward to getting into it, of course. Make sure that you've got everything ready because the game is about to go down in just a moment here. Big's pick, one of their favorite maps in Go for sure, but will that translate across to CS2? We're about to find out.
Yeah, I think for the Chosen Few as well, they probably would have an understanding that this was a possibility getting towards Vertigo. Let's see what their preparation's like. They've decided to start on the CT side. Nabido decided to take a fight nice and early. Just going to get out of dodge there. Of course, Big looks good on the pistols. Can they continue? It's Sin, who is really good on Mirage T side. Can he continue? Tabs him for the first.
Not bad luck at all. I'm going to get that bomb plan. Little one-for-one trade coming in. Spellan's gone a bit wacky through the smoke, though, as he manages to find one. Skrimo with a nice headshot as well. So this is going to give them the position that they need on the Chosen Few side of things to start to push forwards and pull off the retake properly. Sin can't find anything. Mantuu drops behind him. And Big's defuse is indeed going to come through. That is very, very unfortunate for the side of the team, but looking pretty good. Chosen Few once again laying down the law.
Yeah, especially considering that there was a pretty undermanned site over towards A, and they've actually pulled off a really decent retake there. Granted, a couple of them through the smoke, so pinch of salt in terms of how effective the retake actually was. But all in all, Chosen Few walking away, man, over that first round. Of course, bomb plant will facilitate a buy, as you can see. I'm not sure what he's going to pick up. Maybe just a Mac 10. No, not even that. Not even the luxury of a Mac 10. Just a dig for him. So, quarter kill, one dig. Sin prioritizing utility. A better buy over towards the Chosen Few. At least they have those premium rifles on deck. For now, though, question marks to be had about again what Big can do in terms of a response. They once again look back over towards Ram. The thing now is these Ram smokes are arguably even more effective on the old CS2 due to kind of how long they last, how big they are, how much they spread, all the rest. This is all this brilliant kind of it actually makes these games so much more fun right at the start of the game because everything is just an unknown quantity right now.
Yeah, there's way more guessing games, I suppose, going on. And that is kind of what we're talking about, where it's like these upsets are going to be possible across the course of the next couple of days. Then going into the Challenger event itself. Very quiet round here. I think Big just waiting for all that utility. Of course, don't have much of their own to speak of, so really can't use very much to get through. Flash comes around, trying to give some information here. Oh, they're going to go creeping on forwards. Hybrid on the FAMAS. Will lose his head eventually. A lot of support here, but it's a double spray down for Sin. Looking very good indeed. I'm not sure they'll expect Skrimo so close to the site itself. Decent nade comes in. Smoke's going to land behind him. Try and deny away that rotation. Quite committing just yet, but there it is. It's a double swing. It's actually SPELLAN to find the kills. All down to Mantuu here in a round that looked pretty damn good for Big. Only 10 seconds to do it in as well. SPELLAN, positional change. Can't quite get the spam, but going to get him as he creeps back up at the end of that animation. Not much that Mantuu can get done there. And it will indeed be the second round for the Chosen Few.
Yeah, honestly, it's one of those things. Like you said, there's quite literally nothing that Mantuu could have done there. It's just the way the animation is. Same thing would have happened on Go. SPELLAN, really good round from him, though. 3 to his name and a defuse as well. I love that little 1-2 setup on the site as well. The double swing with Skrimo. Granted, he doesn't walk away when he kills individually, but SPELLAN clears them up. He kind of dies for the cause. That's really good. The cause, of course, being a second round on the board. Bomb plant again. He's going to continue to facilitate that buy, so another force to come through for Big. They're getting close, but no cigar. And I think the mindset probably now for Big is the sense that with these sort of half buys, we've got a bomb plant, we put it into 1v1s, surely one of them will go in our favor. It's probably a case of kind of if rather than when, though, right now. Still feels slightly unpredictable. Chosen Few, no start. Not bad at all on, granted, the CT side, which still kind of feels like the worst side right now.
Pick up from Shake. Doesn't quite remain, but still be relatively happy with a start like that. We'll see. We'll see. There is a lot of scope here for Big to gain some Map control off of those frags. Chosen few. Unsure whether there's going to be a mid presence here. So pretty well done from Big to just display a bit of presence, drop back. It just means that the CTs have to recover that gap.
Yeah, damage being dealt towards Libido early in the round. It kind of forces him to be a little bit more cautious, you can see as well. Bit of a 1-2 setup for him. A lot of that attention over towards B. They're completely giving up the A site here. I don't know whether for the chosen few, it's an expectation of, well, they've gone A twice and failed to hold it down, and our retakes actually ended up being okay, so maybe just all the more favorable. But now they are starting to make their way back over. It's a good call on the rotation, especially at this time as well. In comes a smoke. They're going to get out in front of it. They have a Molotov to work with too, but Hybrid Ops against dropping it. I just put it on the default position, but it feels weird. Vertigo going a bomb will cost him his life. Pro's going to find the kill. The Molotov ineffective because of the smoke, and now this one looks shaky. Or so I say, Hybrid through the smoke denies the bomb. Oh, one more.
Oh, continuing the frags. Yeah, looking really solid here, isn't it? Only 7 seconds. These kills feel like they're all in vain. Bomb going to be recovered. I think just about able to get it in, but they're just not confident enough to commit. And the kill after time. This is a fantastic start for the chosen few, man. They move up to 3 rounds in a row, and you can see Process on $450. They were hoping to eco this one on the big side, but now they might have other ideas.
It is not too shabby. It has to be said. The chosen few, honestly, looking really good. This is what it's all about for me, I think, for the chosen few. You can see the confidence in terms of their mid rounds. They're calling a bit of a masterclass. I think a lot of it will come down to the experience. SPELLAN, of course, he's been around for such a long time, playing in and around kind of the elite level of tier 2. You know, we've seen him with some of the bigger and better teams. You know, over the span of the last kind of few years, he was kind of kicking it with Mad Lions for a bit. I know Skade, of course, who in the tail end of 2020 were basically the best team in tier 2. They were really, really, really up there. But I mean, he's been around for such a long time. Of course, the experience paying off in dividends right now. So, 3-0. Big this time. They are going to go for, I guess, a bit of a force. Process, he's a double equal situation regardless. So, he's going to go in towards the P250. The one rifle of Krimbo already put to bed.
Oh, God. This is so awkward. Down goes Skrimo, though, importantly, and that really has thrown the B-bomb site into jeopardy. Shake is going to try and get here as quickly as he possibly can. Does not quite know where to look, right? Have they crossed? Have they not? He doesn't know. They're going to start to move in now. Oh, difficult spray down. Does get one. Secures a second as well. Absolutely clothesline taps in there. Looking pretty damn good. Mantuu runs out of ammo. Just going to be onto Sin with a recovered AK then. No armor for him to speak of. A flank coming in as well. Should be over in just a second here. I don't think he expects this flank at all. Oh, going to give it a little look. Ah, and he finds the kill. What the hell? It's just the fact that the bomb is really in the hand of Shake. We'll see. Oh my lord. Sin's actually won it. No way. That's just ridiculous. That is just ridiculous. He's got no armor, for God's sake.
He steps up in a massive way there. And I think that comes down to an experience of the individuals on Chosen Few. They overextend there. They don't need to play that so quick. The bomb is down in a horrible position for Sin. Time is ticking. You don't need to fight. I know it's a 1 versus 2, but if you're going to play, you got to play together. You got to play for the trade, and they don't. They give him 1v1s. They give him individual fights, and that's going to allow for him to pull off something magical. And that's exactly what he does. Honestly, credit to him. Sin doing everything in his power to keep this side competitive right now. Highlighted him coming in towards this game, and that's why he's been playing brilliantly so far. In the basketball showdown, looks solid, and it's proven it. He'll continue finding a kill on towards Skrimo. Just SPELLAN and Shake left the double dig.
Not expecting too much here. I mean, full run of the course for Big at the moment. They could head back towards B, right? You can see no one's got the bomb in hand even, let alone committing it into a bomb site. So it's taking their time. There ain't no rush. I think they also understand how important it is to make sure that the money stays comfortable. Try their best not to lose any more players if they can help it. Just slowing things down, getting the utility out.
Yeah.
Sending all the feelers out there, and eventually I would imagine they're going to move towards A.
I think you're spot on. I think you are. Shake. Hoping to find something, but nothing offering up just yet. Speller remains over towards B. Expecting a ruse or a fake, but it's not to be. Shake now being spotted out as well. Will be dropped. And that'll be that. Spellin has got a flank, but it's kind of too late to the party here. So maybe an exit frag or two if he's lucky. I think you have to be a little bit more cautious now when you're playing to kind of escape the bomb just because of the extended radius. But I think overall they should be fine. Speller may be getting one on the way out if he's lucky. But a good round from Big against the low buy. Oh, I guess it's a force buy as well, technically speaking, for the Chosen Few. So it's pretty costly. Realistically, Big should be on track to tying up this game because the Chosen Few won't have a buy towards the next.
Anticlimactic finish into it, of course, but yeah, as you're mentioning, just to kind of reiterate, things looking in a pretty good spot for Big, right? And we did see this at the start of the last game as well, how back and forth it was, and it already feels like the game is a hell of a lot closer. Like you said on the previous 13-10, it's pretty close, right? However, the way that it felt was that the Chosen Few were in the lead, but Big was still able to keep on them the entire game, and I think that's kind of what Valve are trying to do with the changes to the round maximum. So we'll see moving forwards whether it continues to be the case. So far, looking like it will be. Big should be able to get 3 here pretty easily.
I think you're right. I think you are. On towards the corner. Nothing really showing. The Chosen Few went for that gamble stack over towards B. Again, Big are pretty happy to keep testing over towards A. It's working in terms of the early space they're getting. Now, of course, with that expectation, nobody's really going to be contesting in terms of the firepower. They're more than happy just to pug their way up towards A. Nations come forward. Already got deep roots in towards the sites. The bomb we planted momentarily. Tabs going to realize nobody's home. And essentially, that'll be that. Again, for the Chosen Few, any extras here be lovely. It's a massacre. Thompson for 3. Probst is one of his own. Lovely flawless round. And, well, over in a jiffy. So, all tied square. 3 apiece. Big start to climb their way back in towards this game. It's absolutely on right now.
Let's hope that this continues then. As the two big boys are indeed playing off against each other. I mean, really, really great to see, I think, for both of the squads that the competition keeps coming, and indeed, the Counter-Strike's not been looking too bad. Okay. Hybrid takes the words right out of my mouth as he just goes flying around the corner like an absolute mad man. Oh, God. All right. Man advantage for Big then in a really important round here, especially for Chosen Few. They're as yet to really do anything impressive in the past 3 and now maybe set to be 4 rounds.
Oh. Shake taking some more damage. This again does feel a little bit awkward. Libido playing around that smoke. Good idea to get out of dodge, especially considering one more tag to the body that AK would have been spelling it on to back on towards Krimbo. It's an important kill to level it out a little bit. Both sides have taken some serious damage here. Just jiggle peeking, not showing face just yet. This is not a bad way to play. They've got some support, and you'll find both. That's lovely. Shake stepping off one of his own, and in a matter of moments, Tabson called upon to close, but gets his head ripped off his shoulders. Skrimo, lovely round for 3 kills, and just like that, we find ourselves back in the lead for the Chosen Few. That's a lovely response. It's going to force, of course, Big in toward a tactical timeout.
Yeah, feeling the burn after that one for sure. Already using a couple of timeouts here, of course, with the way that there's a few less rounds. There's 1 less timeout at the moment. Whether that sticks, we'll see. Yeah, because you have ultimately only lost like 6. Well, yeah, does it make sense? Potential 6 rounds gone. Remove a timeout. Maybe. Maybe. So the whole process is getting streamlined, it feels like.
Yeah. 100%. Well, interesting position to be in. I think for Big, pretty important. Tack just called for them, especially considering they picked up a little bit of consistency. But this is the thing. We look back towards Mirage, where The scoreline, not that far away from each other, 13-10, but Big did lack just the importance in the buy rounds. They need to once again answer back on towards the chosen few. Mantuu in the AWP posted. Nothing being offered up just yet. Process back in towards the Krieg once again. I think they're starting to know something that maybe we don't just yet. I guess with sprays being, at the moment, a little bit janky on the game, tapping away with the Krieg. Not actually the worst idea.
It is immediately a big style move as well, isn't it? You know, that they end up being the innovators of something, or trying to be original anyway. Whether it will catch on, I don't know, but they always do like a bit of a creative play style, let's say. I don't know. Tabson had some moments with the Krieg on the previous map.
Yeah.
Wouldn't say that it looked any better than it did in Go, but still, the scope certainly helps, I think. Make the kills a bit easier while you're getting used to using this slightly different AK in particular. The M4 feels similar, but the AK does feel a bit different. Molotov coming around for Hybrid here. Smoke on top of it. Will douse it indeed. Again, a few changes around the way that works, but he's all good. Make sure to get it right at the center of him so that there is no question. SPELLAN somehow doesn't go down to Krimbo. Oh my goodness. Krimbo will be absolutely kicking himself. He was mid-reload out in the open. And now has created the space here, looking very, very good indeed as they all fall before they even make it anywhere near that B bomb site. Chosen Few expanding their lead.
We love to see it. Chosen Few, really nice round put together there as well. Of course, it comes from individuals stepping up in terms of the multi-frag department, but it's good to see the clean counter-strike that the Chosen Few are trying to bring to the table is working. On the CT side too, pretty effective. One thing that is going to be an interesting storyline, I saw Hawker do quite an interesting tweet about this the other day, is about AWPers, right? It has been the talk of the town. This game seems quite heavily kind of Peak's advantage. It seems like being a kind of a post-op AWP is quite difficult. I feel like we're seeing that Mantuu is in himself kind of a post-op style AWPer. Saw a couple of missed shots in that round there. I don't know whether that's going to be kind of the future coming forward for this game. It feels very weird to call right now. AWPing seems quite difficult fundamentally in comparison to Go. Not as overpowered maybe, which I guess on the other side could be a good thing. Tabs going to find Hybrid. Nice shot. Looks some more. Denied at just one. Libido in for the trade, but takes a tag himself. Opts to stick around. And more. Hello.
Oh, trades there though. 3 versus 3. Pretty good look. Pretty good look for the side of Big, I would say. Starting to creep up towards A as well. They don't have any utility to deal with Shake here. So his spot could be absolutely massive, especially if he goes... Oh, look, he's just spotted the back of a player. SPELLAN comes around at the perfect time as well to net this 2 versus 1 now. Process knows he can isolate the fights, and that's exactly what he wants in a situation like this. Oh, big find. Absolutely massive find, but he's got a bomb to recover. SPELLAN has given him all the space in the world, however, full rotation around. With only 25 seconds, there's obviously a lot of pressure on Process to get that bomb, to work his way in. Can't quite track where the bomb is at. Okay, that definitely wasn't on the minimap, bro.
Yeah,
all the same.
It is wrong. I've noticed it a lot in my games itself.
Yeah. Is it like a bit of a spec bug, you reckon, when the bomb gets dropped?
Yeah, but the thing is, it happens like client side as well. Because I've had it so many times where it's like, the guys, where's the bomb? And they're like, oh, I dropped it here. And the bomb is just like completely out of the minimap. That's happened quite a few times to me. I think it's probably actually quite an easy fix, but they've got kind of priorities, I guess, right now in other instances. I think obviously the big one, the big conversation, it's been the talk of the town on Twitter, is the hitboxes. I'm sure you've seen all of the tweets about it.
Yeah.
I do wonder how they fix that, because
I've also seen fools planting the bomb with like SV cheats on, saying that bomb
and getting
wrecked,
people. I saw Kojima do a tweet which got everybody.
And I think some guy, I saw the ancient one, and I thought the ancient one was real for a minute because he sold it quite well, I suppose.
No, they're all fake. But I gotta say, it's quite funny because like a lot of people fell for them, and then
It is a bit funny, but it's also kind of like annoying. Everyone's trying to peddle like the CS2 hate, you know?
yeah, and then but then they get community noted, and it's like whoever's in the community know you think you've done the right thing, but you've actually fallen into the trap. Like,
Yeah,
it's
maybe.
great.
Yeah.
You are making it. You're part of the problem. It's great. But no, yeah, I think obviously this is the thing, right? And I had a conversation with Anders about this, and he was saying, you know, basically they can't make too many changes at once because they don't know where the problem's gonna arise. You know, if they got to do it one step at a time and see what the reaction's like before they can. You know, they can't make 5 changes at once because then they won't know where the solution or where the problem is.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, it makes sense. I mean, you know, we look back to, I wasn't around at the time, but you know, when it came from kind of 1.6 and Source to Go, right? There was everyone had, you know, there was a lot of those issues coming through in towards then. After over time, they got fixed and made arguably the best esport of all time. And CS2 will probably follow in the same footsteps, unless you're Shroud.
I'll leave that one
Yeah.
to air out. Yeah. The less said, the better, maybe. Process on the entry here. At least attempting to be. Maybe SPELLAN's going to be the one to entry him. The patience here from the IGL is absolutely perfect. They're going to try and cross. SPELLAN is too quick with it, though. Flash comes round as well now that the cavalry is here. Looking very good indeed. This bomb nowhere near the plant spot. The chosen few looking damn good. Only dropping one player there in round number 10.
7-3 now. That's guaranteeing that lead that we spoke about. The chosen few looking super comfy on Vertigo at the moment. Money not great for Bigs. Probably going to be a lower buy for them. Oh no, maybe that's be too soon. Hang on. They are going to go for an investment. It's actually not a full investment, just the one Mac 10. We're going to leaving some funds in the back pockets. Heading towards that final round. The chosen few, good opportunity. 8 rounds in the first half. Too shabby at all. Playing around the Molotov. Krimbo gets the drive-by. The fadeaway shot there from Labido. All him James Harden. That was a lovely fadeaway. Look for more. He'll find more as well. Absolute trade, making a double. Now something's on it.
Maybe. It is certainly possible. Hybrid. Last line of defense, at least for now. Skrimo's come to join him. And the two of them trying to cook something up here on the A-bomb site. Actually looking to get aggressive. Kind of a risky move. To be honest, Process will get a clean headshot, and that makes all the difference. The trade is there. So, just SPELLAN. In a big round here before we come to the close of the half. Can he win this one out? Finds the first frag. Molotov down. Sin gets a smoke on top of it. Just spot him there. No. It would seem not. Sin takes him out, and Big have snatched away a really important round.
And Eco, all off the back of pace. I like that from Big as well. They know, they understand that fundamentally. They've just got to try and get that bomb down as soon as they can. Try and take fights. Something you mentioned as well, I think, is spot on, is when you have the chosen few in that situation, do you need to reface? Probably not. The pressure was still on Big there to try and get the bomb down, and granted, in terms of their utility, even escaping once the bomb went down would have always been pretty awkward. I don't really think the chosen few needed to swing. Just hoped it would have been enough to deny that plant. Isn't to be the case. Hybrid's in trouble. Caught by the flash, then caught by Tabson's AK. And round of the half, Labido going to answer back.
Trying to entry out here. Not going to happen for him, but at least the trade is there. Where are they going to end? They've got this mid control. It looks like they want to move towards B. Maybe a bit of pressure in at CT as well. This is getting kind of weird. SPELLAN around for this trade. Will get it, but he sacrifices the position of bridge. That allows them in. Going to take the peak. Nearly wins the fight, but not quite. Vito alone. 1v2. Definitely going to go for it. Does have a kit available. Oh, smoke is a bit annoying. He moves ahead of it, though, and spots that there's no one out on the site itself. Making a fair bit of noise now. Molotov going to go down towards Dupree to force this fight. Loses it, though. 7-5. Not a bad result in the end. Big with a nice recovery at the tail end there, of course. We'll see how things pan out moving into the second half. Clean finish from both teams there, in all fairness. Big definitely denying away a pretty one-sided affair. They were looking down the barrel of like a 9-3, which probably be the equivalent of an 11-4 back in the day. So certainly well recovered, I think, to give them a decent chance here. They now move on to the CT side. Their map pick. Chosen Few, though, are still bringing their A-game and looking pretty damn good while doing so as well. Obviously, with the lead here moving into the second half. So, pistol going to be very, very important, as it so often is. And they are not wasting any time here now. Pro's just going to move round from Ivy. Will find a double. There's so many CT bodies here as well. This could get very, very scary indeed. Mantuu with a clean headshot might just have done enough to Sin stays cool in the fire. And just one remaining now. Pulling off the reload, trying to get these dualies working, and it just takes a bit too long to get activated. Big will look to even up the scoreline.
Honestly, a very important pistol, considering the Chosen Few took the pistol to open up this map, and then ran away with some form. And, oh, of course, this time not to be. The Chosen Few, no bomb plant, doesn't give them a huge amount of money to work with. I think probably the smarter way to play this would be not to overly invest, because the eco here, they're going to have a nice full buy-in towards the next round, which is exactly what they're going to do. So, we see the old attack pause right, the attack pause. Full eco, nothing really overly committed here. And yeah, it is one of those situations where, generally speaking, try and find some fights, try and find a kill, a constellation or two would be nice. Nothing really coming of it, though. Pretty simple, all things considered. And Skrimo went for the run boost, and he falls 51 floors down. You can see a little one on the little notice board there. So, this round amounting to nothing. But it was a throwaway anyway.
Listen, man, if you're going to go for the run boosts, I think that's definitely the time to do it when you're on the eco round. Don't want to be making that kind of a mistake in a rifle round. Also, I do feel maybe there's a little bit of theory crafting going on there. I think run boosts are a little different. It feels like
they are
a bit different.
They feel slower.
Yeah.
Is the way I put it.
Strafing in midair is a bit tougher as well, etc., etc. So, you know, maybe just a bit of theory crafting there from the Chosen Few just to see how it feels in practice, right? Rather than in practice, which is a really confusing English. Either way, into the first rifle buy here, we do indeed have a cheeky little bonus from Big with a few lesser weapons still in play. Meanwhile, on the Chosen Few side of things, not as much util as they would perhaps like, and Certainly not the nicest way to start in mid, but on ramp, it looks pretty good. 3 kills go their way as a 4-on-2 ensues.
Krimbo and Sin, the youngsters, well, I guess 2 of the 3 youngsters on this team. Called upon. Hybrid's low. Vertigo and Shake within that 1-bullet headshot range, but it's still a 2 versus 4. Trade to beneficial. Hybrid into that first contact. If he falls, he then starts thinking things should be okay, but he's going to find the kill nonetheless. Who cares about falling? He's going to find frags, 3 points of HP, and he's still fighting. Down he'll finally go, but that's the information gain. Krimbo's over towards CT, and now they can focus all their attention there. Really well done. That'll be the round. Joseph Yu going to claim back the lead.
It's nice. It's very, very nice indeed. They will be more than comfortable. Krimbo not getting anywhere near the action, so he'll definitely just save what he has. But yeah, a really nice look. I think Chosen Few, again, it's pretty simple, right? They're just looking to take fights. They are looking to bring this game down to a very basic level where they can play around the individuals and perhaps just play around their slightly higher comfort, slightly higher hours on the game. And it does seem to be really working out for them. Big are definitely struggling here towards the tail end of this second map. And of course, could be the final map if the Chosen Few win it. Maybe you missed the first one. It did go the way of the Bulgarians.
I guess while we've got a momentary break here, we can have a little conversation about some of the other games. Grinders took map number 1 off Movistar Riders. That's a bit of an upset on the cards there. It's now 6-all in map number 2. Apex won map number 1 against Aurora and a 10-7 up on map number 2. So it could be a 2-0 there. Spirit took map number 1 and a 6-5 up against Looking For the X-Heat lot. So there is a one which that one's also a 2-0 as well. So there's a couple of upsets in the card, a couple of 2-0s potentially on the paper. We'll see whether it happens. Mantuu the first to fall to the hands of Shake.
I don't quite know what to do with that first frag though. It obviously comes very early, which is nice, but they have gone for a reset move. The issue on Vertigo, right, and I think, again, why a lot of high-level players don't really like it, is you can't do very much about that. You just lose that first player. Like, on an overpass or an Inferno, you could pressure a different part of the map, find some information, maybe get a trade back. But on Vertigo, it's very tough to do that, especially early on in the round. You really have such little information that it is a massive risk. Oh, no. Completely caught off on the A-bomb site. And that will be the round.
Goes down, and for Sin and Krimbo, it's a call to save with him. Might not be given the luxury of. Krimbo is kind of in between 2 different people here. Skrimo, right idea. Spelling gonna find the kill. Libido gonna fall. Skrimo 180s. A janky fight. Krimbo's never gonna live there. The Chosen Few gonna find a 9th. They got 2 rounds ahead of Big. Granted, there's some money to work with Big, but it's not exactly conclusive across the board, so they're gonna be able to squeeze something together, but it might require the likes of a FAMAS or an MP9 if they want loads of utility. The MP9's coming out for Tabson and Process, and Krimbo, in fact, as well. They're wanting that util to work with, but kind of keeping a little bit of funds left in the back pockets. Chosen Few, very good opportunity for them to find a 10th here. Much better firepower, much more utility across the board. Honestly, it's Griff bigger in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, it does feel that way. Yeah, really is problematic at this stage of the game. Not expecting too much out from this round, but there's potential. There is potential. Sin, a very nice spot here. They're somewhat weary. Gets good timing. Could isolate these fights in and around the sandbag. SPELLAN a little panicky as he jumps up. Gonna run out of ammo here and eventually overwhelmed as the support comes round for Sin. Beautiful 2-piece picked up for Big. That's going to be some recovered weapons as well. You can see the AK's out in the right hands. Krimbo finds a clean headshot because of it. Absolutely perfect for Big then. This round has unraveled. Bomb may well get space on A, but I don't think so after that frag.
Well, this is a round thrown away for the chosen few, considering there's a few MP9s, a few pistols, and yeah, made it work. Last remaining of Skrimo dropped the hands of mantuu. Flawless round, in fact, for Big. Very important response. Once again, we find ourselves in an all-important standpoint where there's buys to come through both ways, but neither side in terms of the long-term financial setting comfortably. So this game can absolutely swing the other way. Chosen few, it looked like they're on the road to maybe building too big of a gap to work with for Big to respond. Now not to be. Libido just a deagle for him. Make things weird here. Krim going to drop Molotov. He'll just burn the toes of Shake as he falls away from the flames.
Just needs getting spammed. I think maybe a little bit of autopilot there. Shake manages to find Tabson. That's around the edge of one of those smokes. All the same, it is an early opener for the chosen few. A fantastic little response moment if they play their cards right here. However, this is where things can once again get a bit tough. They're going to move up the ramp. Oh, and one well-placed spray down could be their downfall.
Process gets his head ripped off it. Mantuu labored spray, shoots too early. Skrimo will punish him. Punish is the right word. It looks like Big are in trouble. They might even opt for a safe. It looks like they're posturing for that. Krimbo is out of there, and Sin's going to join him in just a second.
All too easy, perhaps. Chosen few immediately responding. There is a bit of money in there for Big, thank God. The way in which they won the previous round on a weaker buy, a half buy, not a full spend, essentially. Some recovered weapons, of course, thanks to the previous. So they will have money to buy back in, but Chosen few holding on to their lead is a really, really great sign, and just making sure that they shut that down before it gets rolling for Big is very, very worrisome indeed. So,
Yeah.
becomes a challenge now moving forwards. I think there will be an awful lot for Big to contend with. And the pressure is definitely on now. Their tournament life somewhat under threat, of course. There is still the lower bracket, if you are perhaps a bit unaware, but I don't think Big wanted to be down there so fast.
Yeah, the lower bracket feels quite tensive as well because there's been upsets across the board. There's a chance Movistar dropping towards the lower bracket, which is never good. You can see the likes of an Aurora too, and no easy feat. So, definitely not exactly the nicest position to be in. Up the lower bracket, honestly looking scary in the upper bracket right now in terms of the kind of the name caliber of teams. Chosen few going to find their 10th and flawlessly. Let's see what the say is like. Of course, the extended bomb radius. Shake is a lucky man to stay alive. 2 points of HP for him. 2 rounds ahead for the chosen few. Up to a 10th round, of course. Yeah, for Big, there is still those question marks. Like you said, keeping those funds on deck is facilitating a buy here once again to round number 19, but time's starting to thin out for Big to really find form. We said they struggled with inconsistencies. I think it is looking like the case at the moment. So, again, let's see. mantuu, big swing, big find. Libido to fall.
Bad start. Hybrid. Oh, a little difficult for him on the trade there. They just kind of brute forced it in towards ramp. Maybe didn't need to happen. Bit too aggressive. All the same, there is still a slim chance for recovery if they are able to find some return frag. SPELLAN is looking to be the one to do so. Decent game for him so far. Oh, and Sin pulls a nade out, but thankfully able to make it round the corner. Good gather of information as well. Molotov comes down to make sure that he is unable to re-aggress. So there is mid-control, but SPELLAN, of course, can't really do all that much with it. Eventually gets taken down. Krimbo, nice pick up onto mantuu. Let's see here. Smoke going to come down on towards the site itself. Flash round for Skrimo to peek out. Can't find the head just yet, but nearly did with that little bit of pre-fire. Couple nades ringing out. Will they be able to get the bomb down here is the big question. Have to start to make that move soon, but it seems the bomb has been recovered and is perhaps not really going to be able to make it in here. Yeah, I think he was thinking about going B. He's going to try for that, but what do you really expect 1v4?
Yeah, honestly, once again, I don't think the save is the worst call here. If the AWP falls, they're going to struggle to invest back into it. I think it's probably the best thing. Try and keep hold of the AWP here. This should be fine to do. So Shake going to go tuck his head over towards mid somewhere. And essentially, that'll be that. Many 10 seconds. Not really going to amount to all too much. Good response from Big. Important response from the German side as well. They needed to find form while it may have come, you know, late in towards this game. Better late than never. Wolf stays alive. That's important. Any more for any more is going to be the question of Big. We're a side who have looked a little bit all over the place, a little bit worrying at times. Not feeling okay. Mantuu hitting shots, finally, kind of coming alive for him individually. He can continue it. Something to be had here. Full buy for Chosen Few. Could be the final full buy if this one falls flat. And of course, if Big do manage to find a 10, kind of really spice things up. Shake, that is so damn quick.
He looks pretty comfortable on the AWP, I have to say, right? Mantuu has maybe struggled in places with some of the shots and just getting used to things, but Shake looks really good. Process swinging round. Oh my goodness, that's so aggressive. Still manages to come away with a frag. Maybe expected a flash or something. That's kind of what it looked like. 3 versus 3. Not really knowing where to look, but Sin keeps his cool. This is all over the place right now. The flash looked good, but Tabson can't find the frag. All on to Mantuu to clutch up versus 2.
He doesn't find an early kill here. Mantuu might just call it. Not exactly a nice position to be in at all. And a re-smoking towards CT. Going to make his life impossible. Spelling going to find the frag on the way out. Mantuu, no chance in hell. The Chosen Few once again extend that lead to 2 rounds. But of course, most importantly, 2 rounds away from seeing this one off. They're in a really good position right now. I think, safe to say, Big are probably feeling the pressure quite substantially.
Yeah, it really is getting a bit sweaty here towards the end. Their econ's all over the place. It really is. Hero M4 bought up. B-Rush coming in, though, is not really ideal, as there's no one really across on this B-bomb site at all. Tabson is here. He's just going to surely try and send it. Does catch SPELLAN with his back turn, but immediately dealt with. Might just be an idea to save this M4 into the next round, to be honest with you. I kind of get what you're trying to do here, but surely nothing's going to come off. Ooh, nice find from Krimbo, though, as there is an overface, but still just not really looking great. We'll see. Barreling on in they go. Up shot misses from Shake, to be fair, and he is getting tattered down. Skrimo with a big double to get them back into it. That's going to drop the M4 as well, I think. Importantly, he will eventually fall, though. It's just going to be onto Hybrid. The tap on the bomb. Hybrid manages to find the big frag, and the Molotov takes out Process. Nicely done. 12-9 then, and Big have to run it back.
Well, that is a big clutch from him. Hybrid individually. He's been pretty quiet this game, but he picked his moment. He picks it pretty damn well. Big are left now to try and claw things back in their favor. Krimbo and MP9. Sin, I'm assuming something dropped for him. Yeah, an M4. Not the end of the world, but all down to this. They only got 10 rounds of map number 1. They could be limited to just 9 here on their map pick. SPELLAN trying to take early fight to the map 10, but he's met Sin at range through that smoke.
Oh, God, Libido, so blind, man, as he tries to entry in there. Looking pretty good here for Big then, isn't it? Shake above the smoke. Gets one back. There's a flank coming round they've got to be aware of. I don't think that they are necessarily. Shake going a bit crazy, trying to look for the entry here. Utility raining on in. Smoke's going to fade. The flank is there for a double. So Big will hang on. A couple more like that, and we might just be extending the game. There's not a lot of money. So I think Chosen Few will probably save here and have to go for a dodgy sort of buy to win the game in the final round.
Yeah, also one of those things too, when you think about it, for the Chosen Few, you know, you've had a lot of success in these kind of slower starts, but a really strong mid-round, and then you change up the tempo a little bit like that. I don't know if it's really needed, right? I mean, obviously, the expectation that Big are going to have some sort of a buy to work with, that'd be the kind of the best thing to use the pressure on Big shoulders against them. Wait for mistakes to be forcefully found. Not to be as you kind of predicted. Of course, we aren't really going to see too much of a buy here. The Glocks, though, running down can be a little bit precarious at times. Prosus and Tabson make it look pretty easy. And SPELLAN's all that's left. He's going to go towards B. I don't know if he's going to get given the luxury of a plant here, especially considering Krimbo sticking around. It's such a weird fight. And Krimbo sees it off. So, 12-11. Overtime. Or 13-11 and a 2-0 towards the chosen few. Who knows?
Who indeed knows? We'll see. Our very first series here in CS2. Maybe it does indeed go to overtime. That would be the classic for Skrimo and Naokai, I think. All the same, chosen few. Once again, have felt like the team that have played better. Only marginally, though, on this map, I would say. And the second half, especially, has been so damn close. mantuu, maybe a little quiet in the game in the series so far, but that is a hell of an important pickup.
Of course, re-smoke deep in towards. That ramp is going to leave things pretty awkward for the chosen few. Forced to try and fight elsewhere. Skrimo going to have a little poke and prod over towards stairs. Does have the bomb in tow as well. Of course, of all the men to meet here, Krimbo being the one is always pretty brutal. He's been so decent over the last few months. One of the best players for Big. Been called upon once again. Not spotted anything just yet. The flash will force him away. The rotate to come through. Good timing on the smoke with Shade. Finds a nice shot. mantuu with the trade makes it a double.
Absolutely huge from mantuu. Ginormous round, it has to be said from him. SPELLAN tries to wrestle his way back in for the boys, but it's not going to happen. It looks set to go to overtime here. As Skrimo remains alone, of course, going to give this a good, solid go. Softened up by the nade, certainly looking better and better. They know exactly where he's at now that the bullets rain on down, and nobody giving him a fighting chance into this one. So I do respect it from Big. Oh, a little awkward. Does get one. Dealt with eventually, though. And the 12-12 comes in. Overtime going to be required for this one. I, for one, cannot call it. These two teams cannot be separated right now.
Absolutely. I think, again, it comes down to maybe for the chosen few, that slightly weird call to go for a very quick pace on that 12-10, right? It looked already like things were going to be okay for them. Maybe just try and force it ever so slightly. Coming back to bite them. It gives Big the opportunity to get back in towards the game, and of course they do. So, 12 apiece. Find ourselves now in a very interesting decision with the chosen few. Maybe a little bit of confidence getting knocked in towards that side. Big starting to come alive. And also, Big having a really solid hold over towards B. Krimbo had the support of mantuu at times, who's had that spawn-based peek over towards stairs. A really good hold. They can afford to chosen few back into a fight, back over towards A, where they've, in the earlier parts of this half, struggled to even get towards the site itself.
Yeah, I mean, very true. Very, very true. It's great to see. It is absolutely wonderful to see here. Prosus will be the first one to open up as, again, chosen few. Maybe starting to run out of steam a little bit. Very aggressive indeed. Prosus nearly in for 3, but denied away. 3 versus 3 ensuing. A very solid look for the chosen few, especially if they choose to move towards A. But right now, they're pausing.
You're going to call this for a little bit of a freeze. So I say, SPELLAN, other ideas. Important kill. Sin to 4. Both SPELLAN libido so low. And SPELLAN now dead. Know about this flank going to come through. The 2 versus 2 is interesting. And they're not going to opt to go for Bogdan's Law here, too. She's going to keep hold of the AK. Of the AWP, may I say, as Libido's got the AK. And that nade, luckily, it's on towards the AWP, but does take a tag. This becomes janky. Tabson could go huge here. And he does. There's the first.
Looking good. Trying to hold for a little bit more. Shake doesn't quite know where to look. Quick scope lands onto Tabson. Can't get the flick in time. He was damn close to that, wasn't he? But Krimbo remains in the moment and will manage to convert it for Big. And yes, it only comes down to the 1, but it doesn't matter so much in the overtime. Really, really great look as Big, for the first time in a long time, will take the lead.
Yeah, it did look like maybe it was on net. On 1 versus 2, you had the old question marks about whether he could pull off something miraculous, but it's not to be. And Big advantage in their court. It's important as well, considering the run of form that Big are on right now. They just look like the slightly more well-rounded side on Vertigo. Kind of as expected, this was a really good map for them on Go. Play out all right. We're going to get out in front of the smoke and the nade. Will they expect this level of aggression? Maybe not. Krimbo definitely doesn't.
Certainly what they wanted, I think, was to kick things off in their favour. Skrimo going to find another as well. It's a hell of a nice shot, to be honest with you. So looking very, very good indeed. And they are perhaps set to continue. It's a slow build-up here, a very slow build-up indeed. Mantuu. Nice little response, but going to need more where that came from. He was the man that pulled them through into the overtime, so let's get a bit of more of that. Definitely going to need it now as Process loses his life through the smoke. A lot of nade damage coming down here. Tabson looking to go a little wild, cause a little chaos, but they are able to shut him down before he really does any damage. Just the AWPer then. Still have smokes remaining to deal with him. That's certainly annoying. Bomb plant going to come through. This is not looking too good. I mean, you do go for it in the overtime, right? You've got cash. Someone can drop him across. Krimbo's got 10k, so it's all good. But yeah, it just feels a bit futile, I suppose. Going to move to save and take it out of there.
Maybe that. I think it's not the worst call, considering they probably... Well, I mean, they probably actually would have an AWP to go with. I mean, Krimbo's got enough money to go around, but it's never going to happen, is it? In that 1 versus 3. Too little time, too much to do. He's still hunting it. SPELLAN, not the worst call for him. He's going to have the buy-in towards the AK once again, so why not? He doesn't check over towards short, so mantuu. Well, oh my god, easy. We'll keep hold of the AWP, but now that a fight on the way out, 13 if he's found around at the half here. There's the advantage. Very interesting position to be in, because at the moment, this one feels very difficult to call. Big, just losing early control. Very nice early swing coming forward as well. When Krimbo falls, doesn't expect that push through the smoke and his nade. Maybe not got the timings on lock just yet. This time I'm going to respect it, play a little bit slower.
Hell of a lot slower in this one, isn't it? Really tentative stuff as they are thinking things over, thinking things slower. There comes the first face. It's mantuu to win the fight. Definitely coming into his own, it has to be said, right? I think he picked up that big triple and his confidence has definitely stepped up on the AWP. Ooh, as this smoke goes down as well, could be a bit risky down there. Process has almost the perfect angle, but we'll see.
Molotov going to tickle the toes. He's going to take a step back. mantuu still remains posted. Yeah, this is definitely a bit of a weird one. Chosen few. The numbers aren't in their favor. They're trying to find a way to isolate the fight, so not being given anything. It's pretty well played from Big. Pretty heads-up counter-strike. They know they don't need to overface, and they know that their time is going to start to put the pressure on. It absolutely is right now.
Nades over the top. Krimbo and Sin to hold. Oh, the flash is perfect for Krimbo. Lovely stuff. As he finds himself a number of frags, and it just keeps on coming. Looking very good for Big here then. As they are just in the lead, as it does say. A little bit weird. First to 16, right? So, like it used to be. But the amount of rounds in the overtimes actually stayed the same. That's not changed with the addition of MR12, right? The overtime rounds themselves are the same. So essentially a best of 4. Sorry, a first of 4. Best of 6. Yeah. And Big at the moment are relatively close to that.
Let's see if they can continue it. Back on towards that T-side. They struggled with it at times towards regulation. Hoping they can fix some of those issues that they did have. Roach is going to fall away in towards the smoke. Will SPELLAN expect it? probably to some degree, doesn't matter. Hybrid falls through the smoke to the hands of Mantuu in the AWP. So already, big looking like the advantage in their court pretty substantially.
SPELLAN on high. This is one of them pesky off angles that might not be expected. Nothing comes his way, so he's going to go for a positional change here. Oh, and the timing could be pretty good here. Spots out a leg. Can't quite find the frag, unfortunately. Molotov and a smoke, though, to keep his opponents at bay. Not a bad look. SPELLAN just about surviving. But it's kept Big thwarted. It's kept Big questioning whether they should hit B now.
What is the question? Big, I know for them, they're going to be worried in the sense that there's actually 4 or 5 here. Everyone bar the AWP is within that 1 bullet headshot range. It always does change the mental a little bit. 30 seconds to work with. They call for a freeze, they call for a pause, but it looks like they still want to go towards B. And it's only Skrimo left here. Smoke over towards right-hand side of Jen, the classic one from stairs, and now in they come. And there's about nothing over towards ramp. They went looking for aggression. Nothing came up. Now they know they're going towards B, and then they come.
Charging forwards, but as said, there's so many bodies ready to go. They are a little further back than maybe they'd like to be, but they're still finding shots. But it's Mantuu and tabseN to pick up the multi-frag moments. It was tabseN from behind, from mid there, in fact, that just threw that spanner in the works. Looking good here for Big to pick up their own map. Yes, in the overtime, but it is looking more and more likely as we continue to play the rounds out. Big have just really, really picked up steam in the late rounds of regulation, and then, of course, into the overtime itself.
Yeah, it is Big. I've just looked like the slightly more solid side on their map pick and proving exactly what they are all about. Chosen few. 2 in a row take us to double OT, but it feels on like gap above the smoke as well. Not exactly, oh, brilliant, to say the least. DNA comes through. Sin takes a tag. Chosen few are definitely in trouble right now, though. They just look like they've lost that cutting edge of them. Mantuu waiting for a fight, and it'll come over. It takes a tag and a fall away.
Can we keep the dream alive here on the Chosen Few side of things? I'm sure they would absolutely love to get it closed out in 2, man, and not risk poking the beast a bit more on Anubis. Oh, weird sort of communication. Boost coming in. Unfortunately for them, there's no one really around at the moment. They might be on their way shortly, but for now, there is no real presence on the ramp.
Nothing offering up for the time being. Couple of question marks to be had. Where to? What now? Time ticking. Big going back over towards A here. Molotov will come over. Perfectly timed as well. Gonna force that boost off and actually force Libido into a fight he didn't want to take.
Difficult. Very difficult indeed. Shake gonna get mollied off as well. Hybrid will stay alive here. Will manage to find a frag of his own. Gonna, of course, buy some time. Be a bit annoying. tabseN with the bomb. Has to be careful here. Drops it. Krimbo will get the trade round, but there's only 10 seconds now to get the bomb planted. Certainly easier said than done. Maybe there is a player that could just throw himself at this situation. His name is Skrimo. Finds the defender. It's all on to Krimbo now to close the round out just on the edge of the smoke. Yeah, who's going to spot who? Oh, it's Krimbo to get it done. He's so good in those situations, man. And what a way to close it. What a way to close it, of course. It will indeed be a 3rd map required.
Yeah, Krimbo in the clutch. It's a match made in heaven, man. He just makes it look so easy. Always.